The Circuit is a real-time virtual production studio, okay, and this evolved from a live streaming setup that I used to do as an IP at my place, and it became a service provisioning during the pandemic, and I had a meteoric rise during that time because there was surge demand for that nature of content, where you're able to take a certain amount of talent, either do podcasts or either do a singing or a musical session, and then pass it on to remotely from the internet onto and get audio video synced with correct depth and intensity on your phone. So the 90% of the shows जो चड्डी जांगे में जो आप देखते थे ना during the pandemic, from Zoom पे, Skype पे, Facebook पे, YouTube पे, were all done this circuit. It solved small bit of world hunger at that time. So that is what from that point onwards, post the pandemic, it pivoted into animation. We pivoted into real-time virtual production for cinema, for ad films. And we still get the one-off guys who come, musicians who come and say, I have a 5-piece act, I need to like immediately record something with like some background. Sir, आपके पास जो भी है चल जाएगा. It solves music video problems to a very large extent, because sitting here, you can go to the comfort of Finland or Iceland. You know what I'm saying? And make it look relevant and make it look cool, and you can do any kind of surreal artwork. That's what it is solving right now. And the biggest thing it is solving right now is my kid. It's meant for my own masturbation, to be honest. Okay. The fact that I'm able to like make it into a source of revenue for my 4 employees, okay, that itself is a big thing, I think, okay. And these are all very talented, extremely expensive, individually talented people. So hopefully I will be able to induce some funding into it and be able to become irrelevant to the system, because that's when I will have a cigar. It's a 1500 square feet floor, has got 2 chroma volumes / organic volumes, what we call sound floors or dubbing floors, which are manned by a single 100 square feet PCR, the size of this room, where SDI cables, about 8 inputs of SDI and 24 audio can come in and can be modified, EQ'd, processed, stitched together with delay compensations to do timed audio video content. ऑडियो वीडियो एक साथ परफॉर्म करोगे बहुत अच्छे कैमरे की डेंसिटी में, आपका स्विचिंग सब कुछ लाइव हो जाएगा, न्यूज और स्पोर्ट्स जैसा होता है. 5-piece band can sit and 5 people can sit comfortably in a semi-C circle and have a nice conversation. Core kind of a business that we get into. We get a lot of corporate audiences who want to do podcasts. We have a green room, we have like all that in place, and everything is pro audio video. We have 3 cinema cameras, many sound engineers, many DOPs, and we have a principal DOP and a principal sound engineer. We have a tech director and the owner who sits outside and tries to run the show. That's the core business, okay, where we try and basically service the industry into getting audio video content on a very fast form. Like you have to be able to walk out with what you have done as a final output by the end of the day. Circuit was something that completely fell into my lap. I did not devise it. I did not have it in my mind to do something like this. After this whole MTV Drive with Nano, which happened around something 2013-14, I started releasing a couple of songs, and then I got cast for the big boss of Kerala called Malayali House. I was told 2 हफ्ते जाने हैं, 2 महीने रह के आया. Suddenly I became a name and a face in Kerala, which otherwise had only root connections, and they wanted outside of Malayali. Imam Siddiqui cast me for it. Big Boss team only cast me for it. They wanted an outsider Bombay Malayali who calls a kutta, snake a snake, a pambu, and who knows who's this, like a modern day Malayali. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Who's from Bombay. So I didn't give a rat's ass. I went, I did the show, I became a name and a fame. Musician 8-10 लोग हैं अंदर, करें क्या 2-2 महीना बैठ के मैंने choir बनाया. Alto, bass, soprano, और मैंने बहुत सारे गाने बनाए. Out of that, one song called Adipoli did very well. There was a Malayalam literature laureate inside, so he gave me great lyrics and मैं उसका tune बना रहा हूँ, and we made this song. And when I was leaving the show, mind you, I was the I was the pinch from the channel, because I was inserted into the show to kind of create a ruckus. Okay, so I went and created ruckus. मैंने खूब गाली थी, मैंने बहुत लोगों को ये भला बुरा कहा, but जो start में I was the most hated person. By the end of it I became the love person, because मैं गाने गाता हूँ, मैं entertain कर रहा हूँ, बाकी सब लोग अपने आप को बचाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. मेरे को उसका डर नहीं था, खौफ नहीं था, तो मैंने खूब सारे गाने बनाए. जाते समय मेरी एग्जिट के टाइम पे मैं ये गाना गाते गाते जा रहा हूँ. Then after the show, the producer of that channel commented me, that song, no, let's produce it. So I produced that song, okay, put all the money I made from that show back into this, got the contestants, we put it, made on Adipuli, gave it to Surya TV. Surya TV gave it to Sun Network. Suddenly I'm coming out of Jaya TV, Gemini TV, this TV, that TV, and I became a name and a fame in Kerala. I used that to kind of come back. So interestingly, around that time, my wife got a job opportunity with Deutsche Bank in Pune. So she took up this job in Pune, and she said, all my life I have followed you, now you follow me. So I said, okay. So the Malad was still there, and she went to Pune in Kalyani Nagar. So I built a room over there like this. Okay, and I had a setup in Pune, and I had this whole Malad house I converted into a studio. Then I said, so now I had a place in Pune, which was a big room, a nice wide room, where the drummer, exactly like this, except slightly wider stereo field. Okay, and we had this kind of a setup where there was a full production table there. There was this whole capture room, fully treated. All that is going on, and there's whole kit and all that. And musicians can come jam, slam out an idea. Sham tak song ready. Okay, musicians dream. How do I make this into regular content? Exactly what you're doing right now. Okay, how do I time this into this thing? Get podcast in. Okay, let's do an IP called the circuit. It's my circuit of people. The rock circuit, the pop circuit, the this circuit, the jazz circuit. And that's how the idea devised. My first marshal on board was Sigmund Codrich, my live sound engineer. He said, let's do this. We did a couple of things in Pune. We realized it's not really fanciful because the musicians are not that hot in Pune. Where is everybody? In Bombay. The whole Malad living room is left. Chalo. Full Malad living room became the circuit. Wife is in Pune. When they come once in a while, it looks like a cool studio. I'm living the whole selfies like that life. You know what I'm saying? There's a dog going on, Aju Baju. You know, all that is happening. You know, the whole studio floor has got carpets, you know, the whole nice pinky blue, tickly lights everywhere. The circuit was born. 4 episodes became 20. I gained a reputation. Okay. Vivek, Hereo, all of these people came as guests. Daira. And I also got sponsors on board. जहाँ पे मतलब हमारे शो होने के बाद we used to go to Sagar restaurant and bar. My dear Logos और अंकल सब लोग मिल के हम लोग fried fish खाते थे. So I got a lot of sponsors, brand work. I have Harman Endorsing. So I got Harman interested in it. They pitched in the monies required for me to get the gear. So I got the gear. So it all kind of fell in. 2015, 16 something I said, my wife comes back from Pune and says, 19, sorry. So the PCR went back to the son. Okay. And the living room went back to the wife. अब ये 2 स्टूडियो का सामान लेके जाऊँ कहाँ? पूना में भी एक सेटअप है, यहाँ पे भी एक सेटअप है. मैं कूल बन के मतलब एक हार्ड डिस्क लेके ऐसा घूमता था. One setup here, one setup there, ऐसा सोच के. अभी I have so much सामान and I need a go down. Okay, Andheri is where Bollywood is. It's the audio video center of our country. Let's do something. Went looked up a place. Okay, circuit. Put it all together. Pandemic. What? What do I do now? Okay. So streaming has been going on before that. So I have acute knowledge, acumen, and figuring out of what needs to be done in streaming. Artists a lot decides to do this, and pandemic ho raha hai, and everybody like artists are the ones who are going to like, you know, soothe the savage beast and, you know, milk the whole society, honeydews. Okay, please sing songs so that we all become better rather than, you know, allowing and marifying thalis walis and all that. So aisa karte karte we got interested. A lot of forums called us to be part of it, and I was at the top of the chain because I was doing this multicam switching, playing guitar also, singing also, because I already had the experience and the crew. You get it? So what you're doing right now, mind it like in a live setup, and I already did that because I already done about 18, 16 episodes of this thing. I suddenly realized there is a market here because now pandemic ka time बढ़ते जा रहा है. The people need to keep doing shows and earning bread, and this is a venue that can be made into a service provisioning. That's when I expanded my property into a physical art hub space, which then speaks to other talents, and they are able to come rent me out on a very economical model because I knew the math behind it. 20-25,000 रुपए के मैं ऊपर ज़्यादा चार्ज नहीं कर सकता because nobody can. I started at 10K a gig. All the musicians, artists, and engineers, they had nowhere else to go. You know, Siggy did this gig for $2,000 a gig. जो 15-25,000 से लेके 15,000 तक उसका रेंज है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द काइंड ऑफ गिग. ओके, 25-30,000 रुपए लेता है वो एक शो का. He did it for 2-3 grand. कोई जाने, nobody is going anywhere. कहाँ जाओगे पेंडेमिक में, कौन सा शो है, दाल रोटी सब कुछ चाहिए. So it became a zaria. So it fell. So that IP fell into my lap and that struggle became. मैंने इतने लोगों का दुआ लिया है ना उस property / IP की वजह से, because I was at the right time and I was able to pivot myself on the K curve. You know, it's called the K curve. When you're at that time, you realize, okay, you have something, and then you जो पैसे उसमें से बनाए मैंने गिर लिया, जो पैसे उसमें से बनाए मैंने गिर लिया. Organic shoot 3 cam setup का switching करते करते बोर हो गया, चल इसके पीछे क्रोमा डालते. Wow, now I can put any background in the back. Okay, but 2D background so boring. 3D क्या करते? Unreal Engine. What is this? That's when I realized, oh my god, this is an engineer's tool. Chalo, material building, textures building, physics involved. Went back to my roots and I dove down into it, and 3-4 years later, I'm now a celebrated Unreal Engine artist. I'm a technical director at 3 studios.
Wow.
Because of this kida of evolving and learning and constantly struggling, to be honest. It is difficult to sustain that level of consistency post the pandemic, because it was very easy to wire a studio with many microphones and get like podcasts going or musical performances going and get it done. But then the demand died and we were able to pivot into animation and virtual production in a big way. Okay, and we were able to tap into the virtual conference and the virtual concerts aspect, which very few people are able to do with the right density. And I think one of the reasons for that is because I am personally on the top of it, and there is an engineering art meets tech fine line that one needs to walk in this. And that is what I think is missing in most of the studios. Most of the studios are run by engineers who only have the engineering side of it on. So the artistry is somewhere missing. So I've noticed that the bigger studios have that tech meets art edge. I think that's where the circuit is unique as an audio-visual production house. My wife is still saying, where is my funding going? Where is my money? So she is the reason why the studio is actually running, because she does chip in whenever needed. And abhi the gear is not 25,000. Abhi the gear is like 10 lakh. You know, abhi Madi board. So you know what I'm saying? So these are not things. So we are dipping into life savings. We're keeping all that. It's very tough to keep the business afloat, especially when you are so passionate about it, where every XLR cable matters to you. You know what I'm saying? Where like you have specifically got a Belden cable because it's got the particular quality. If you want to turn this into a baniya business, okay, it's easy. I could have done it earlier, passed on to Series B funding and gone the Kanungo route. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to do that, okay? But it's tougher to do that also, because then you're giving it away to somebody and you're at their mercy. You could either fail or you could fail. So there are many times where I feel, jitna hai na, let's just cut our losses, okay? Just sell everything, and as I told you earlier, just buy something in Dapoli off the cliff and look at sunset. This is also life. So the circuit is a boiling pot, okay? We do animation, we do 3D visualization, we do pre-visualization, we do virtual production. We are one of the 3 studios in the city which gives the kind of feature that we do. We do real-time virtual production using chroma volume. And we have the Unreal Engine, axiometry and anti-latency pipeline. We are a 24-hour studio because it's a studio, okay? And people use it from jam room perspective with in-ears, say leke all the way till animation room. And animation is something ki 2 frame render hua raat bhar rakha hai machine, it is that costly, from 600 rupees per hour se leke 75,000 rupees for 4 seconds. This is the price range. So timelines are also that way. We usually follow a 8 to 10 hour shift, okay, where we have a 25K slab, a 40K slab, a 75K slab, all for 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours, in which the output is something that you'll walk away, like how you're recording right now, you'll walk away with audio video stems at the same time, with switching, with all density, with sync and lighting and everything, and DOP and direction and production, and if you want in-ear support and all those things. Imagine like I am sitting in a chroma studio where the behind of me is in green, right? Okay, now this is a camera which is capturing me. Okay, so this has got one instrument, one equipment in front of me, and I'm sitting in front of me. If the camera moves like this, the background has to move like this, right? Okay, still ले तो अलग बात है, but अगर मैं ऐसा करूँ तो पीछे green है तो मैं कैमरा में कैमरा अगर इस तरफ जा रहा है तो मेरा बैकग्राउंड ऐसा हिलना जरूरी है, because it has to follow parallax.
Yeah.
Okay, for that to happen, there has to be some way of telling this camera where it is in a 3D world. So it maintains the XYZ of that pivot and tells the engine behind, which is driving this imagery, to move in the opposite direction. And that is possible only in a game engine. That is what is virtual production, where you're able to key out the chroma volume, the chroma screen, or the chroma background, and you're able to key it with some depth relevant environment. Could be a room, could be a valley, could be a home, could be anything, which means from the comfort of a studio like this, you could be sitting behind in some other places. Not only that, you could have another billboard here, which is like a plane, and you could take a zoom feed and push that onto here, key out the background of that zoom key, and feel like that guy who's sitting in Uruguay is here. And if you cheat the line of sight, he can fake this conversation between by having a monitor behind him from that zoom feed. Okay, and I am actually looking at that monitor, but to the audience who's watching this, it looks like you and I are talking
in the same room.
So the lighting is where it is everything. Okay, lighting is everything in cinema. Okay, and that's where it is. So that room which is managing this particular billboard, okay, has to have the same lighting done in advance and matched. That is the only way you'll do it. That's where the acumen, the tech acumen comes into place. Oh no, Kelvin so much versus thoda light idhar gi raho. And I learned that. I dove down into Unreal Engine in a very big way. I've won Technical Director of the Year as an award also recently for this particular skill set. This is something I take immense pride in. It's a constant sea of learning, okay, but I don't think there is enough rest slated in my life. It's going to be a constant काम करो तो पैसा मिलेगा kind of a life that I've led. God has been kind though. Okay, I can't complain. We're still surviving, right? I mean, if I was to live thinking कि मतलब कल क्या होगा? Yesterday I got taken care of. Today I'm having such a wonderful time with you. Tomorrow will also be taken care of.